America, or the world. What's going on? My name is Kate, and I am the producer and creator of Wildcard Comedy, and I wanted to take a second to explain to you why I'm doing Wildcard Comedy, what it's all about, and the role that this Indiegogo campaign will play in hopefully establishing the show as a major force, a major staple in the comedy scene and the New York art scene in general. So Wildcard Comedy is straight up stand up for comedians for 15 to 20 minutes, and then a wild card for 10 to 15 minutes. The wild card is an unannounced guest, a surprise guest that's kind of positioned as like a drop in, big reveal. Um, Almost like a celebrity drop in would be, but the person's not always a celebrity. It's just to kind of give the um, the audience that feeling, to incite that excitement that a big name would. But the only stipulation to do it is you have to be super funny, just like the scheduled people. So it is run twice a month. Hopefully it'll turn into a weekly show down the road somewhere if we can pull it off. But for now, it's twice a month. And the performers we've had to date are the hilarious Lance Weiss, Brendan Fitzgibbons, James Parkinson, Dan Carroll on the first show, and then my wild card that night was Andy Haynes, super funny. And then this past one, which was June 30th, Wednesday, yesterday, was Nick Cobb, who's unbelievable. Um, they're all super funny, but Nick Cobb, Grant Gordon, Mark Normans, and who am I forgetting? Oh, Julian McCullough. I'll always mispronounce his name, no matter how many people tell me the right way to pronounce it. I always screw it up, and so I apologize. With my wild card being John F. O'Donnell. They were all absolutely brilliant yesterday. It was so much fun. We had a great time. We had a great time the first time too. It's just been such really great feedback from both the audience and from the performers. They seem to have a really wonderful time doing it, and I couldn't have asked for a better opening two shows. It's been super awesome. Um, so part of the reason I'm producing this show, I feel like I have a real advantage not being a comedian and not being, like the owner of a fancy schmancy club. I don't have to worry about the names that are going to bring in the most money and charging people to drink minimum and an outrageous admission price. And then I don't have to be a comedian and do it for, to try and swap stage time, or have to deal with like, hey, my best friend booked you, and so you should book my best friend, and you have to book this person because she's a girl, and you're a sexist if you don't book a girl, and a racist if you don't have someone of, that's not of any ethnicity other than yours, and you hate gay people if there's not gay. Like, I don't have to worry about any of that. I'm just doing it for the funny. I don't have to kind of worry about any consequences other than that for the most part. So that's kind of a big advantage for me. I think part of the reason I'm doing this is I feel like comedy isn't really viewed as the art form that it is, and I think people kind of just strictly view it as entertainment and don't really understand the incredible value behind really good comedy. It's incredibly human, incredibly accessible. I think people have this idea that like comedians just think of super funny jokes and they come out polished and they're perfect, and they come out to tell them to you, and that there's never any heartbreak along the way. Um, but even the best people go to open mics, and um, it's a really brutal and really invested um, choice for a career, and it's so much harder than people recognize, I think. And I think Seinfeld was the one with the quote that said that it's the only job where you're judged every 15 seconds, and it's like a lot of these people live in either Astoria or in Brooklyn, and they come into Manhattan to perform for you for 6 minutes, and you're just sitting there like, make me laugh, make me laugh, make me laugh, forgetting all the work that goes on behind the scenes and all of the effort that they have to put into it. And it's like they can take a train ride in for an hour, do 6 minutes that goes horribly, and then have to take the train ride back. Like, it's so much more brutal than people realize, and even the people at the highest points of success, depending on how you define that, I guess, but that have like huge benchmarks in their career, like on Last Comic Standing or Comedy Central Presents specials, are still doing free shows, including mine. Not to overplug anyone, but Nick Cobb did my show for free yesterday, and he was, I think, top 5 on Last Comic Standing. I mean, he has had an incredibly successful career and is incredibly talented, and they still do these shows that are not financially rewarding, but are, I hope, rewarding in some other aspects. Which is really kind of crazy that you could be at kind of the epitome of your world and still be doing shows in New York and not making any money at it. You really have to love the craft, and so many of them have day jobs even when they're already extremely successful. So part of the way that I can pay my comedians, if not with money yet, hopefully that'll be a part of it down the line, is to use my public relations background and my artist development skills um, to help them out. So I try to give them as many resources as they need to advance their career. So I have been writing profile pieces, which are basically biographies that the comedians on the show can use either on their websites or for festival submissions or for whatever reason they would need to summarize themselves in an objective way and to define themselves outside of having to define yourself. PR person, comedian, musician, CEO, it's very hard to write a biography about yourself because you view you as you and not from the outside. So it's tricky in general, and then obviously with a public relations background, I've been trained and know how to professionally write them. So that's hopefully something that the comedians can use coming from my show. I also have photographers coming in to take pictures, which is really exciting. We're going to rotate photographers to give them recognition as well. So between the rotating photographers, they get to take pictures of these really successful, wonderful, talented people and get recognition for that. And it's a win-win because then the comedians can hopefully use those pictures for whatever they need to if they so choose. And also in the very near future, we hope to have video in there so that comedians can walk away with a reel if they have a fantastic set at no charge to them. It's not going to be like fancy production or on a super awesome DVD or anything like that. It'll probably just be digital, but I want comedians to be able to leave with their hands full and their hearts full and their smiles on their faces, knowing that they did the best that they possibly could in as good of an environment as they possibly could and got us treated as well as they could. So that is what the comedians will hopefully walk away with, having done my show and want to come back and to crush again, in a good way. We use crush in a good way, not to crush the audience either physically or emotionally, make them cry like they killed it, they did awesome. Some of the incentives I'm hoping to offer you guys is to be able to raffle off like a lunch or a dinner with them if you contribute to the Indiegogo campaign with some of the comedians. I'm also hoping to put together an exclusive panel to put together an exclusive panel footage of a couple of the comedians that have been on the show and just run the panel and give people free admission to that and not have it taped. It would just be like a once in a lifetime experience to do it with those guys and to not have it recorded and just be a very intimate in the room experience where people don't have to even watch what they say. They can just talk about the life of being a comedian and all that it entails, and all the background that goes into it and all the hard work that they go through. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of what Wildcard Comedy is. I'm doing this to cover production's costs, for the cost of the room and for postcards and to keep the show going, and hopefully end up someday paying these guys financially. They're so willing to find reward in things other than money that it would be nice to at least be able to, buy them a beer and maybe cover their subway trip or train ride home. So please donate. Tell all your friends about it. I'm sure the comedians would love to donate but don't have any money to, so please donate on their behalf and come out to a show. I have a Tumblr blog. It's wildcardcomedyshow.tumblr.com. And you can check there for all the performer profiles that I write as well as upcoming lineups and the latest on the show, and I think we might have to switch locations, so keep posted there and check it out. I hope everybody has a really wonderful day and week and year and life, and I hope that you found this video valuable and maybe even learned something and are motivated to donate to Wild Card Comedy and stop out to a show, because these are some very talented babes and some very talented dudes. So come check them out. Thank you so much for watching this, and thanks for the support. Bye.